Hi there, this is Rob again. This is basically just a continuation from the previous video. I was getting at about 10 minutes, so I wanted to go ahead and break it up because I know that is hard to download the big, huge files. So basically I'm showing where I've removed the sills. I'm pretty much finished, and just kind of highlighting that I didn't use a drill. I tried it a little bit with this front inner fender arch panel, and I found that it was much slower, so I just basically cut and grind. And when I basically go down, as you can see, I'll need a repair from the inside on that. But essentially, I would just cut and then leave a small amount and then grind down and remove this. I still have maybe a little bit left to do on the inside, but I found it was much, much faster. And I also get more of the remaining sheet metal left because I found that when I drilled it out, I still ended up kind of distorting it when I pulled it off, and I also just didn't like the idea of having to fill in all those drill holes to make it look nice and tidy. So again, you can see what I have left. Now, the lower castle piece, part of that is still attached, where I've just basically cut along where the rust was really bad. But the idea being, I'm just going to go back about 3 inches on the floor pan and do a repair that'll be nice and flat, and I should be able to get tons of good welds on that because it's a perfect place to weld. So I have no doubt that it'll be stronger. Now, I've gotten my repair pieces. I ordered them from Little British Car Company. I was very happy. They had a sell on, which basically they gave you an additional 5% off of their price. They sell Moss parts, basically. And the only bad thing about them is they don't give free shipping. So I ordered about $950 worth of parts, and I still had to pay for the shipping. But with the discount, I did figure it out, or I wouldn't have ordered from them. It still ended up saving me about $50 or $60 from the next cheapest place I could find, and I spent hours and hours and hours actually looking for the prices, so I feel confident I got the best deal I could. And basically, here's the outer panel. This is the outer sill. This is the only part that you'll really see from the outside of the car, just that little section there in the middle. And you can see it's very three-dimensional, front and rear. You can see that. And that's the outer piece. Then the inner piece is essentially, it has this kind of triangular reinforcements stamped into the metal, and it's got a little bit of three-dimensionality to it, but essentially it's just a flat piece that gets welded in between these. And then this is the castle piece. This is a whole nother couple of gauges thicker steel. It's really nice and heavy. You can really tell when you're cutting the old ones off how much thicker this is from the factory. These are, I think, Steelcraft brand. Most of the stuff I got from them was Steelcraft, though I did actually get some pieces were Heritage. For whatever reason, they were mixed and matched. Sometimes the left side would be Steelcraft, the right side would be Heritage, but that's fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me as long as it fits. But again, this is the inner castle piece, as it's called, and this actually welds to the bottom of the floor there, and it goes from the front to the rear. And then this piece essentially looks something like this, though this is actually above the castle piece. And then on the outer, obviously, you'll have this in this basic position. And real quick, this is the piece that I cut from the door, just to show you what it looks like and how rusty this car was. But basically, I didn't even cut this. This was just how it was once I pulled the fiberglass and some of the. I found cardboard, newspaper that had been bundled over. There's some fiberglass. You can see a little bit of the fiberglass there. What else I found? Metallic tape, like you would use for ducting. I found that had Bondo over it. So it's just ridiculous that somebody would even think to do that on the structural part of the car. But essentially, this is the three-dimension. You see the outside seal, the inner, and this isn't the castle piece, but this is the inner. This would be the inner sill here. So I can zoom back so you can see my hand. Right here is the inner piece. Now, on this car, the rear, as I showed a minute ago, is actually in pretty good shape right here. So this is the only curved part that's really difficult. The rest will be on the inside. Basically it's that panel right there that you see. And it's essentially just a 90-degree bend with a couple of other 90-degree bends where it attaches. So I got a metal brake, and I'm just going to make those out of scrap that I can get locally really cheap. So I think I'll have about $10 a side on it, and it will take me maybe 30 minutes to fab that up. So those parts are $54, I think, a piece if you order them. So basically, that's kind of the plan. And again, I think I'm going to save the floors, at least on this side. This other side, they're really bad. Back here in the corner, but under there is where the rear front leaf spring attachment point is. But it's actually in good shape. I've looked at it very thoroughly. And I'll also have to make a repair there. But I'm not sure I'm going to try to save the floors over here because they're a little bit, they're a fair amount worse. They're probably rusted back another inch or so. But we'll see. And that's basically where I am with the Sills. But let me show you some of the parts I've made progress on is the front suspension. I showed you the paint I was using. It's basically just chassis paint. And I was able to get this sun's going to kind of reflect and make it look kind of funny. But basically I got the gaiters on, the new tide rods on. Everything is very clean. It was cleaned with the pressure washer, and then it was degreased, and then cleaned with the pressure washer, and then degreased, and then hand degreased, and then hand scrubbed. I probably have about 3 hours just cleaning the front suspension, but it's pretty spotless now. It's not perfect or show car quality. You can see I've got the brake calipers back on. I think I still need a pin, new pins. A couple of the pins weren't as new as I thought they were, so I need to replace those. And these are I need the lower hardware as well, because these have been redone. But basically, I got the stainless brake lines that I talked about a little bit earlier. The brake rotors themselves are basically new. They may not look it just because of the surface rust. And the brake pads are Ferrotos with probably 100 miles on them maybe. They came with the car, so that's really good. But the front suspension is all nice and tidy. You can see over here. There's a little bit of rust flakes. That just basically got blown over from where I was grinding. But this paint is so much better than spray paint. It really cleans up just like exterior paint. So that's what I really like about it. It's nice and shiny, but it also is incredibly durable. So that's where we are. The front suspension is back together. A little bit left. I think I showed you the brake pedal box. I went ahead and removed throttle cable and a couple others because I'm going to clean up under in here. And I'm going to go ahead and get this primed. I'm going to have to make a repair patch here so that I can reinstall the brake box. But the brake box has already been sandblasted and repainted. And I'll go ahead and prime the inner fender wells, and I'm not sure how much burn through I'll get when I weld those outer wheel arches in. You can see a couple drill holes where I drilled out those front pieces, which is a fairly standard way, like I said, of doing it. But I chose, after a couple of drill holes, I thought, well, this is crazy. I'm going to drill holes all in my car. So I thought it was just a lot easier to grind it off. And you can see, actually, here it is ground off. And I thought it was faster and cleaner and neater and did less distortion to the body, so that's how I did it. So anyway, well, thanks for looking, and I'll keep you updated. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.